Okay, welcome to the Magnetic Wizard of the 123 and the story of the atomic galaxy of the Trion Triangles. I am Captain Cube of Magic Mountain, the gateway to the center of the universe. We live in a world where fiction is told to be truth and truth is told to be fiction. The scale of this trickery is at a critical point that likely will not be reversed until the population has been reduced to a level that this trickery can no longer be sustained. Although there is another way out of this trickery, and that is for the people of the earth to understand that the Creator is real. That the magnetic sun, the planets, the earth's moon have all been created for life on this one planet of this one system, and that there are many other systems out there that also have a life planet that are very much the same as ours. Only when the people of the earth clearly understand this will they understand that this creation has a reason, and that their life here has a reason. This reason has little to do with their accomplishments for most, but not all, as some are sent here to achieve very specific goals. Welcome to the Magnetic Wizard of the 123 and the story of the atomic galaxy of Trion. Some of what you see and hear on this channel you may find to be true, and some to be fiction. Only when one compares the said to be facts to the said to be fiction can one conclude which is which. With that being said, all that is seen and heard on this channel in relation to the stories told and information out of Crichton is being presented as fiction. If you in your personal belief find anything presented here to be true, as seemingly as that may be, the recorded facts on Earth say otherwise. Until the facts change, everything in the stories told and the information out of Crichton will remain as fiction. Welcome to the Magnetic Wizard of the 123 and the story of the atomic galaxy of Trion. All the information that you will see here on this channel in regards to the planets of Triton 3 and Triton 4 was entirely sourced from Crichton, the place of infinite knowledge, which comes from the story of Cube 12, the 12th Wizard of Triton 3. The drawings that you will see are from the accumulation of information provided by Crichton and brought back by the 12 cubes of Triton 3 through their multiple journeys into the center of the magnetic sun. Each of these journeys has information that's provided like puzzle pieces. At the time they are provided, they are not well understood or easily remembered. Only when enough pieces are received using memory recall methods combined with an extreme desire for truth and by the guidance of Kriana and others could this information be known. The drawings are designed by me and constructed into digital form by my son Christopher. Crichton does not provide charted information, at least not in a way that humans can understand. It's basically raw information of numbers and patterns with no explanation of what one sees, although one can revisit past lives and experiences and regain knowledge from these previous lives. In the following are some of the ways in which the information on our drawings was obtained. Much of the information and messages are received by non-audible communications, meaning I can hear them but not in words. This happens when I'm awake and asleep. There are also audible communications. This happens only when I am asleep. There are also visual communications. This happens only when I'm asleep. All of the communications are one-way messages, meaning I and they don't engage in conversation. Translations of information and messages may not be relayed exactly as they were received. To understand that correctly, I understand them very clearly, but that understanding may not be relayed exactly when put into words. In the story of the atomic galaxy of Trion, you will be told 3 short stories of 3 individual lives that are of one soul. A soul that moves through space and time on a mathematical and spiritual journey in one of the triangles of the galaxy of Trion. With each of these stories, there is much more to be told. Much has been left out for this video series and will be told in full later in time. Story number 1. The Incredible Journey of Edron 3 and the 9 Wizards of the Eternal Trail. A story of a boy's magical journey into another reality where he meets Kriana, the creator of all that is good. then meets with the Fairy of the Tryon Triangles, and later meets the 9 Wizards of the Eternal Trail. Later in life, he becomes known as the Wizard of Trizon 3 for his unmatched wisdom of how one shall be, wisdom he brought back from the Eternal Trail. Story number 2, Cube 12, the 12th Wizard of Triton 3, a story of a young man's journey off the planet of Triton 3 through space and time into the magnetic sun, where he meets 2 others that are there waiting for his arrival. They have a brief exchange of information and is then returned immediately back into his body. Soon after returning, he discovers that he can leave his body and enter into a place of infinite knowledge. Unsure of what this place is, he seeks out the help of the 11 Wizards of White Goat Mountain. Crichton, he is told by the wizards, is the name of the place of infinite knowledge, and that the 11 wizards know of this place very well and have been there many times. Story number 3, the story of the cube and the lieutenants of Magic Mountain, the gateway to the center of the universe. The story of a 9-year journey to the cube's awakening to the creation of the universe, who the creators are, why the cube is here, and where he and the lieutenants will go upon their completion of their time here. Welcome to the Magnetic Wizard of the 123 and the story of the Atomic Galaxy of Tryon. There are 5 main drawings that you will see in this story that I will give a brief description of what they show and then a more detailed one in future videos. But first you will need an understanding of the names and identifiers of what is being described. Triton is a sun or star, at times may be described as such. Triton 3 is the 3rd planet from Triton, the same as Earth is from the Sun. Triton 4 is the 4th planet from Triton, the same as what we call the Moon here on Earth. Triton 3 and Triton 4 will many times be referred to as T3 and T4. Shadows are what we on Earth call eclipses. There are 3 different types of shadows on T3. They are the father, the mother, and the child. On Earth, they would equate to total, annular, and partial eclipses with 1 extra they call a hybrid. The T3 shadows have a repeating pattern after every 38 shadows. They will many times be referred to as FMC 38. There are 3 planetary star systems that will be referenced to. They are all within the same triangle of the atomic galaxy of Tryon. The name of this triangle is the Triton Triangle. Planet number 1, Triton 3, home planet of the Tritonians. Planet number 2, Trizon 3, home planet of the Trizonians. Planet number 3, Tricon 3, home planet of the Triconians. There are also 2 other systems that will be shown here. They too are in the atomic galaxy of Tryon. Their inhabitants and planetary names are unknown to me at this time. Their operational systems will also be shown. One of these systems is almost identical to the systems of the Triton Triangle. The other is similar in many ways, but has cycle times that run in different time patterns than the Triton Triangle system. Welcome to the Magnetic Wizard of the 123 and the story of the atomic galaxy of Tryon. Drawing number 1. The Triton 4 Father, Mother, Child 19 Shadow Wheel, or in short, the T4 FMC 19 SW. The Tritonians know this drawing to be proof that the Creator has created everything in the universe. When first shown to the Tritonians, they thought it to be false. Later, many found it to be entirely correct and changed their minds and behaviors accordingly. Others that were stuck and would not let go of their false beliefs remained in their ignorance until their passing from Triton 3. The younger and future generations of Tritonians desired truth. They desired peace. They desired fairness for themselves and others. The T4 FMC 19 SW helped them find the pathways to achieve those desires. For hundreds of millions of years into the future and hundreds of millions of years into the past, the following events can be found on the T4 FMC 19 SW. Cycle K, or cycle number 1, and all FMC 19 shadow points that occur in its 18.03 year or 6,585 plus 1/3 day cycle time. Cycle R, or number 2, is the most important cycle to understand of all the cycles within the Triton system. Cycle R is both a Sun cycle and a T4 FMC 19 SW cycle. Its time duration is 594.99 years or 18.03 years times 33. Cycle K times 33 equals cycle R. Cycle R is the governor of all cycles within the Triton system, including the rotational times and orbital times of all the spheres within it. Cycle R has a half cycle time of 297.495 years. In this time period, Triton will have a magnetic peak and high and a magnetic peak low. Cycle R will have exactly 54 solar cycles, with each cycle having an average time duration of 11.0183 years. The FMC 19 number 27F is a shadow marker for cycle R high, and the cycles of Y, T, O, and N at their high, low, and 3 and their beginning and midpoints. All time durations given for cycle K and R are averages over an exact time period of 29,749.5 years, which is 1/2 of cycle Y. All cycles within the Triton system, including rotational and orbital times of spheres, will come to their exact average cycle times every 1/2 of cycle Y, or 29,749.5 years at the beginning and midpoint of the cycle. All planets and their moons will align in a straight line with Triton, including Triton 3 and Triton 4, creating the FMC 27F shadow upon Triton 3. This will occur 12 times during the cycle's time duration. Cycle Y will also show all the geomagnetic excursion times over its 59,499 year cycle time. Cycle Y, or number 3, has a time duration of 59,499 years, or 594.99 times 100. Cycle K times 100 equals cycle Y. All Triton 3 geomagnetic pole excursions are found within cycle Y, including excursions with short time duration polarity reversals. Cycle T, or number 4, has a time duration of 1,963,467 years, or 59,499 years times 33. Cycle Y times 33 equals cycle T. Also, all the extended time duration magnetic polarity reversals of Triton 3 are within cycle T. These are the magnetic flips. Cycle O has a time duration of 64,794,411 years, or 1,963,467 years times 33. Cycle T times 33 equals cycle O. The disk of the Triton system and the disk of the atomic galaxy of Trion will align at every 1/2 of cycle O, or every 32,397,205.5 years, and will do this 6 times as the Triton system completes one orbit around the atomic galaxy of Trion, with a time duration of 194,383,233 years. Cycle N has a time duration of 2,138,215,563 years, or 64,794,411 times 33. Cycle O times 33 equals cycle N. All of the following can be found in the cycles of Y, T, O, and N, the beginning, midpoints, and ends of all cold periods, hot periods, and warm periods. Hot, warm, cold, warm. That has to do with the ice ages, if anybody didn't catch that. Welcome to the Magnetic Wizard of the 123 and the story of the atomic galaxy of Trion. At year 0 in the Trion Galactic Shadow Wheel 627A, also called the T4 FMC 19SW, T11 will have its closest approach to T3 in its orbital pattern around the sun of Triton. At this time, all 11 planets of the Triton system will align to the atomic galaxy of Trion's galactic plane. At this time will also be a father shadow from FMC number 27F cast upon T3 from T4. Also, this will be the first day of summer in the northern hemisphere on T3 and the first day of fall of cycle Y. This is the 59,499 year cycle. Also at this time, T3 will have some very significant geomagnetic polarity excursions and possibly a short-term polarity flip. Also at this time, all planets 1 through 11 will come to their exact average orbital times around Triton. For Triton 3, this average orbital time is 365.2431133.296 days. Also at this time, T4 will come to its exact average orbital time around T3 of 29.5306427504 days. Also at this time, one full rotation of T3 will be exactly 86,400 seconds. Also at this time, Triton will be at its magnetic peak of its 594.99 year cycle. Also at this time, the Trion Galactic Shadow Wheel 627A and the entire Triton planetary system will have completed its cycle time of exactly 59,499 years, taking it back to 0, at which point the cycle will repeat itself, with only one difference from cycle to cycle. Every 59,499 years will move cycle 1,963,467 or cycle T, one click of 33 further on its shadow wheel. When cycle T comes to its completion and back to 0, cycle 64794,411 or cycle O will click 1 of 33 further on its shadow wheel. When cycle O comes to its completion, it will then click 1 of 33 further on cycle 213851563 or cycle N. Welcome to the Magnetic Wizard of the 123 and the story of the atomic galaxy of Trion. The T4 FMC 19SW. The Tritanians know this drawing to be proof that a creator has created everything in the universe. When first shown to the Tritanians, there were many imprisoned minds that thought it to be false. There were also many free minds that found it to be correct and welcomed the knowledge that it brought to them. There were also those that already knew of this knowledge to some degree, but had hidden the knowledge and truth it brought with it from the Tritanians as it challenged their power hold on the minds and souls in which they controlled through their deceptions. Suppress the truth, replace with lies and fear, and one can control the minds and souls of anyone that believes in them. They are what the Tritanians call servants of Chrono. They are everywhere. They are to the right. They are to the left. But they are few. Believe their lies, and one becomes their prisoner. Seek and know truth, and one becomes free.